Hi. So, with regards to the ACF and the DSA, my husband he keeps on saying that I need to make this something that can be released to the public. But because my assessment is mostly based on observations, it's going to be difficult and tricky to apply this as a broad self-reporting. I'm not a fan of self-reporting because you can skew the data based on either a negative self-view or an inflated self-view. However, I'm pretty sure that I can figure that out where I can do something that can yield um, objective results to an extent. And because my assessment, the 100 competencies are a secret and it's only going to be for practitioners, um, having every single one of them be a question is going to give it away. And I don't want, intellectual property and plagiarism and copyright and people coming and stealing my idea, and that's not going to happen. So I had to think up a way in which I was going to ask these questions without asking them directly. And I think I've come up with something. Because the assessment is based on skills and strengths and abilities, I have incorporated all three of those into the assessment. So the first 25 questions, it's 5 questions each for each of the skills. So it's going to be hard, academic, soft, personal, and professional. Then 12 questions each one based on one of the strengths: initiative, stability, communication, care, leadership, analysis, harmony, strategy, exploration, achieving, innovation, and vision. Then we incorporate 7 questions for the abilities or the metacognitive abilities. I'm calling them the 7 trials, followed by questions that assist in mapping the archetypes. At some stage, I'm going to be releasing this just for just like a rollout, like a beta situation. And I'm then going to see if there is any validity to it, if it yields very good results. But if it doesn't, or even if it does, that's not the point. What I'm thinking of doing is that we actually take this and maybe incorporate it as part of the ACF, as part of the framework. Because, for example, in my logic, if a person's thinking that they are fantastic, they're wonderful, and they're not doing anything wrong, but yet the DSA is releasing results that's showing that there are massive problems, then immediately there, it can actually help identify where the issues are. And then also vice versa, like sometimes people are so hard on themselves, but yet they're actually doing very well. And then that can identify where their emotions are, their self-image, their view of the world. And isn't that the whole point of the ACF anyway?